right, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the baddest show in the universe, and you already know what that show is. It's spinning with the lights around it. It's the Bad Boy Sports Podcast with your man Fonz.
Inquire.
Hey man, how's it going? On Taco Tuesday and Wild Out Wednesday. Excuse me, I'm a day behind.
Right. It's going, man. The week gone by gradually, and we're doing all right. We here, so hey.
Yeah, they say in a couple days it'll be Valentine's Day, so I advise all you fellas to break up with your girl and get back with her on February 15th. But nah, I'll just play it. But welcome to the show. And before we get started on the show, if y'all like our content and everything, you like what we're doing here, please subscribe to our channel. It'll really help us out because, like we always say on each and every show, we're trying to get that YouTube money. Also, if you're on Facebook, please hit us up in the Backport Sports Podcast War Room, and just hit us up. We'll gladly have you in there. We don't care what team you rep. And one more thing, we are actually on another business venture. And that other channel is called The Man Cave. So if you are in the neighborhood on these YouTube streets, just go around the corner from the back porch and hit us up at the Man Cave.
Go down to the man cave.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's called the Man Cave, but ladies out there, y'all can join too. You might learn something.
Might learn something.
I ain't saying it like that. Y'all obviously y'all are incredibly intelligent. So hit us up in the Man Cave, and then we'll try to get that channel out there. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple things. So a couple of the Super Bowl is over with, so it's been a really slow news cycle, even with just looking at all the other sports. It's been a really slow news cycle. But I came across a post on Facebook the other day, and it has something to do with now the getting ready to be former quarterback of the New York Jets, and that's Aaron Rodgers. So according to that post, they said Aaron Rodgers went to the Jets on last week to discuss his future with the team.
Mm-hmm.
The team looked at him. They was sitting behind the desk like this here. All the executives was sitting behind the desk. Aaron Rodgers walked in the room. He didn't get a chance to sit down. They said, "We don't want you no more."
Don't let Joe hit you.
They said, "Don't let Joe hit you with the good Lord split you." So let's talk about that part of it for a second. So yeah, I believe it's high time. I felt like Aaron Rodgers was done the moment he left Green Bay. Matter of fact, his last year in Green Bay, I felt like he was done. I think I predicted on this show that he will do the Brett Favre thing and play with the Jets for a couple of years, then magically go to Minnesota. But I don't see the likelihood of that happening. With Aaron Rodgers, like we say, he's 41 now. Hall of Famer, he could be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, just based off his statistics and his accomplishments, he could possibly be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I really did not like him going to the Jets. It just didn't look right, didn't feel right. And I kind of applaud the Jets and their new head coach, Aaron Glenn, that they are moving on and going younger, which honestly, I totally agree with. But you can take that,
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we all know that Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback and Hall of Fame quarterback. Um, I mean, one side of myself says, this is a smart move because, you just never know what can happen to Aaron being the age that he is. You're taking a risk on his health and, putting all your eggs in one basket by allowing him to come back or whatever if you don't establish a great second quarterback. I just feel like the only thing that concerns me is, they did that trade for Devontae Adams to get here for Aaron Rodgers,
Mhm.
and they lost draft capital, and they picked up a contract, and now Adams is there. I don't really know their, you know, provision on how they plan on building this team, but I just feel like, with everything that has transpired to make Aaron Rodgers feel comfortable in this offense, now
Mhm.
you're moving on from him. So it's like, well, I mean, one more year may not would have hurt, but I mean, if they feel like they're a competitor and Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna give him a chance, then they, might have did uh, did a good move there. But I just think about that because I mean, that's what happened. I mean, they did everything. They fired certain people. They brought in certain players to make this guy feel comfortable in the offense, and now you're moving on. So it's gonna be something to watch out for.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, man, I really think he should retire. I don't really know of too many franchises that'll take a shot with Aaron Rodgers, especially with his age and everything. I don't really think he has. I mean, he's did as much work in the NFL as he can do. Um, so yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it's going echoing your point about the Jets. This is essentially, and I hate to say it, it's essentially going to be a rebuild stage. They're going to have to rely on the draft though, because right now, as of this second, they have 20.95. It's a shy hair under $21 million in salary cap space. So I don't expect them to be doing a lot of moving come free agency.
yeah.
But now let me push back on your point about he should retire. So, and then another team. There's another team that I saw. I don't know how true it is or not. But as a fellow elder statesman in the AFC North, I would gladly welcome Aaron Rodgers to this team. And I saw a couple of rumors where Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are trying to make a relationship out of it. Personally, I welcome it because that will further drop the Steelers offense down that cliff. And then too, and then Russell Wilson, he is not coming back to the Steelers. And I don't think
Right.
Justin Fields coming back to the Steelers. And hey, Steelers love those has been quarterbacks there. I mean, it might do something for you.
Yeah, I definitely don't want any parts of that. Yeah. I mean, if we had a we had a great offensive line, I may want to take a chance at a 41-year-old quarterback being there, but that offensive line and him being the age that he is and us refusing to be in a rebuild stage. I mean, it does sound still alike, but I'm hoping that we do not do that because that would just not be good. Not saying that Aaron Rodgers wouldn't. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't want to take a chance with anything. Russell Wilson ruined that for any possible former quarterback to be a part of the team. And if the Steelers are dumb enough and they rely on Mike Tomlin to build a relationship with a quarterback that has interest in being on this team, then I would not be watching the Steelers game this coming up year.
Oh, you gonna be watching. That's your
I will
team.
refuse.
You
I
gonna
will
be you gonna be here we go, Steelers. Here
Nah,
we go.
I will refuse to watch such. So let's not do that. If anything, I really feel like, and this is probably an early off-season topic,
Yeah.
I really feel like um we should go with Justin Fields and just see where it takes us. I mean, I think we've been refusing to be in the rebuild, and that's the reason why we can't get the players that are available in the top 15 picks because we always drafting number 28. So let's go with the young guy. Let's see whether we can build around him and go from there. The rumor, and this is off topic, but on topic. The rumor that I do want to see is Debo Samuel said that he wants to play for the Steelers. So let's make that happen. And let's stay away from
You
bringing.
need a quarterback though.
Yeah, I would take Justin Fields. with all of the room of growth that he has to take on this journey, I would gladly take Justin Fields as our starting quarterback. And like I said, see where it takes us. May not take you far, may not be in the playoffs, but whatever. It's better than bringing Russ back. It's better than bringing Aaron Rodgers, where I don't even know whether we could sacrifice bringing pieces to make him comfortable in the offense at all. So let's just stay away from
I
all
mean,
options. And you got a young guy who has a lot of potential, who brings, you know, other things that the other two quarterbacks that I just mentioned don't bring, like scrambling out the pocket. Neither one of those two quarterbacks did so.
I mean, Russ did,
I mean, he did when he had to, and then when he had to, he'll end up fumbling the ball or something. So
yeah, on the
let's
one at that. Ugh,
not
God.
do that. Oh, yeah, let's get some receivers and do some other things. A whole lot of other pieces of work that we could be focusing on, rather than bringing in a 41-year-old quarterback who's going to demand a lot of guaranteed money, who's going
Mm,
to also demand some changes on the offense. And yeah, that's just not
yeah,
going.
I mean, at least you'll get Devontae Adams because you know he's going to and Alan Lazard. So those are your receivers right there. Because
Uh,
everywhere he go, they go.
yeah. Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers is like Gronk and Tom Brady. So yeah, let's just stay away from that. And allow Aaron Rodgers. I mean, there's so many other teams that can use him.
I mean that team in Western Pennsylvania, man.
Nah,
They
if they ask me, my answer is nay. No,
well, y'all already know my answer.
and that's no, and
I
that's
say
no,
bring it on.
and again, that's no disrespect to Aaron. That's just
I
I
mean,
don't feel that just it prolongs the rebuilding stage. Let's just do the rebuilding and do what we got to do, rather than bringing in a has been, could be quarterback.
or even used to be.
Used to be, has been, whatever past or present tense, that you want to use for him. And let's just rebuild. Let's just not do that. That's not what we need to do. I oppose.
Yeah, all jokes aside, I thought it was funny when I saw it. They even had him mocked up in the Steelers uniform with the number one. Uh,
No,
all jokes aside, though, man, that'll be I don't. First of all, the way Tomlin is and the way Rodgers is, I don't think their personalities will mesh. First of all,
I don't know, man, because Mike Tomlin is a player coach. So
he's a player coach, but he's straight and to the point.
yeah,
And when Aaron Rodgers don't get his way,
I don't know, man. Let's just not do such a thing and do the rebuild. Go with the younger guys and let's just do it that way, because we already had an experience. What has been, was been, whatever past or present tense term you want to use with Russell Wilson.
and,
And
and,
at
and the
first,
sad part, a lot of your constituents, your fellow Steelers fans, were so hyped about Russell Wilson.
I mean,
I was like,
first,
no, that's not it.
it was a blind side, and it was a blind side because at first, when he first starting, it seemed as if we had got some offensive production back, and that's what the Steelers have been lacking. But as time went on and the games, I mean, those, like I said, those last 5-6 weeks of football was not pretty,
Hmm.
and it just didn't answer the call, man. I mean, it was bad. It fell apart at the end, as it always does for the Steelers over the past 3 years, and it's just not good. Let's just stay away from that. If you go
It's been more than three. I say about eight. About eight.
however many you want to measure, you know,
uh,
let's
yeah,
just stay away from that. And
yeah. That's like drinking poison at that point. I feel like the Steelers need to just blow it up at this point because you've been doing the same thing year in and year out and not producing results. So and then when those results don't come, you go back and do the same thing again.
You know,
Steelers, they need to honestly start going younger.
please.
Although although Mike Tomlin, to me, I call him mediocre Mike because he just okay with status quo. Although they call him mediocre Mike, he's a darn good ball coach. And your constituents, a lot of your Pittsburgh fans, man, they've been calling for Tomlin's head for the past couple of weeks. I'm like, Rooney is not gonna fire Tomlin. Rooney bought the money. Y'all still going to buy the merchandise. You still going to sell out Heinz Field, Aquashore Stadium, whatever you call Three Rivers. I don't care. But at the end of the day, it's about the money. And as long as the Pittsburgh Steelers keep winning 10 games this year, winning 9 games, not losing, as long as y'all keep selling out that stadium, Tomlin's still going to be there because the Rooney's pockets are full.
Yeah, and that's the problem, man. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah.
And I forgot to say, they put out a billboard. Somebody, I saw it today. They made a billboard talking about either trade Tomlin or sell the team. I said, good God, this is panic mode.
Like
They said enough was too much.
It's not Steelers like to fire or trade or get rid of head coaches.
You only had what?
3 head coaches.
3 in the last
5 years.
50 years?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's probably out the window. I mean, in some instances, I do understand the frustration as a Steeler fan for other Steeler fans that we feel like the team is just unprepared and don't come to play ball when it's playoff time. And I can understand where you can kind of look at the head coach and say, what are you doing with the guys? Especially over the last few years of the receivers that we got and all the drama in the locker room, you feel like, it gives a bad look. But that is a different show for a different.
Yeah, it's a different show for another day, but
not going to be on Wednesday. And so
you hate to see it. You just hate to see it.
Let's just not be a part of the Aaron Rodgers thing. I know it sounds good. I know we got a lot of imaginary fans out there. And, it'll be an honor to retire such a Hall of Fame quarterback. But he's not as young as he has been. And I just feel like we need to stick with the younger generation and build from there.
So another bit of news. I'm hearing reports that Travis Kelce, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, he is mulling retirement. So I'm going to put it to you like this. I think it's time. Simply because of the production on the field. While he's a valuable asset to that offense, because when it comes down to busted coverage or the defense lineup and zone coverage, he eats. But I was looking, I even though I can read the stats and look at the box score, I tend to use my eye test the best. In the Super Bowl, he didn't get his first catch until the third quarter, I believe. And he was targeted before that at least 3 times. And there was a few drops before that. And even in the regular season, he didn't really get started to week 4-ish. And then even last year, it was the same thing. So yeah, I feel like Travis Kelce should go ahead and hang up the cleats and really focus on his media venture with his brother outside of the NFL. And you can go ahead and do what you got to do on that one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think it's quite time. I think the statement of him retiring was an emotional statement because they got stomped in the Super Bowl, and a lot of times players make comments that aren't in their true feelings. I mean, he might feel like it's nearing that because he is 35 years of age, and I think we discovered that Mercedes Lewis was the oldest tight end, and he played until he was 39 years old. So, it is nearing for that, but I don't think it's quite time for him to retire. I do understand that, even though Travis Kelce did end with 97 receptions this season, which is
wild.
which is not as, I mean, if you look at it, this year he ended with 97. Last year he ended with 93. The year before that was 110. So I mean, he averages at least, I would say, 100 receptions per season. I mean, he was very much close to that. He did not crack 1,000 yard season, which is very rare for him. I think from the year of 2016 to the year of 2022, he had over 1,000 yards, and then 2023 he got 984. This season he ended with 823 yards, and he only had 3 touchdowns. So I mean, his production on the field has declined, but it was a lot of moving pieces that happened throughout the season. They went out and got Hopkins. They've reacquired Juju Smith a few years. They got Worthy. They got a lot of other playmakers that is a part of this offense that I think Andy Reid is making an emphasis on and making them a part of the game. And I think that, he at least got one more year, man, in him to play. I don't really see where, he's maybe suffering bumps and bruises. I sound like Mike Tomlin now. Bumps and bruises that is associated with play, but I don't feel like he's at the point where he's like, nah, man, he don't look like Travis Kelce. I just feel like, of course he's still gonna get that. I feel like they use him for bait in that offense, because you line up, he's gonna get people gotta respect Travis Kelce. They gotta cover him, and they use him to allow these other guys to get open to be a part of the game. But I really don't feel like it's truly time for him to retire quite yet. I mean, at least one more year. He at least play till he's 36 and then retire. But if he does retire in the offseason, he's a walking Hall of Fame quarterback. And so I mean, it's gonna be intriguing, but I really feel like that comment came from the emotions of losing that Super Bowl to the Eagles this
Right.
last Sunday. So yeah.
But see, I look at it like this. I look at the preparation to go out there in the field. Yeah, he's 35, but in football years, that's at least 40, 45. You got to go through training and all that other good stuff in the off season to get to that point. And honestly, I feel like even if a Kelsey is not on the Chiefs next year, I don't think the Chiefs will fall off. I still think they're a playoff team. Like I said, I feel like he should, instead of putting his body through that and getting ready for the season, I feel like he should focus on that media career. I mean, his name is already out there. You're dating Taylor Swift.
Right. Yeah.
You
That's,
know what I'm saying? So you
I
marry,
mean,
you in the money.
he might want
So
to retire, but the NFL may not want to retire because they made a lot of money. But then again, he'll still be a part of that family. He'll always be a Kansas,
I
forever
mean,
and ever. So in the sense,
potential Hall of Famer.
yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't think old Kelsey will be, you know. But I mean, I think his brother did it. His brother, Jason Kelsey, he retired, I believe, after the Super Bowl loss. Did they lose that Super Bowl that year? He retired.
The last time the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, they lost against Kansas City.
Yeah, so I think Kelsey, the other Kelsey, lost and retired. So I guess that might be a family tradition to do such. But I don't know, man. I
And
don't
then, I mean, even after that, even after Jason Kelsey retired, like you see him everywhere now.
You're right.
Like he's still getting endorsements. You see him on commercials, and they got their podcast. And I'm like, just do it, man. Like you're 35. You don't want to spend the next year and a half putting your body through that unnecessary stress when you can just retire relatively healthy.
Yeah, retire healthy. Yeah,
Go on and get that Taylor Swift
the Hall of Fame and
and let Taylor Swift propose to you, man. Hey.
uh,
So I ain't got to see her every Sunday. Man, it felt good not showing her every other play.
yeah. Won't no need to show her. They showed everybody else but her. But
But they showed all them long faces out there.
but I don't know, man. Like we say on the show a lot, remains to be seen. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think so, man. I just don't see it happening. And like you said, I think you're all right about them, not falling off. If they Kelsey did leave, I think they're such a revolving offense that things like that don't really affect them because of the quarterback they got and the head coach and everything they got in play.
Mhm.
They don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Unless they have to play the Eagles every week.
Right, right. Yeah.
I don't see them fall. I don't see them falling off no time. As long as they got Mahomes out there, like they are always going to be in the mix.
Man, I feel like, man, one more year ain't gonna hurt, man.
Yeah,
Leave
I mean,
side next year. One more year ain't gonna hurt.
just don't become a liability.
You're right. And I mean,
Just don't become a liability. If he go out there next year, don't become a liability. You know what I'm saying? Don't put your team back further when they should be.
right, yeah.
But I think we could call it right here. So let us know in the comments what y'all think. Do y'all think Kelsey should retire? What about Aaron Rodgers? Do y'all think he's done, or do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers should give it the old college try? Hey, just let us know what y'all think about it. Also, if y'all made it to this part of the video and you like what we're doing here, how about hit that subscribe button? Help us out. Please help us out.
Yeah.
Cause this year, we trying to build this little empire here. And in order to build an empire, you have to have that YouTube money. And we need it. Also, we have another channel and it's called The Man Cave. So if you are still out here on these YouTube streets, you know what I'm saying? Help us out. Hit that subscribe button up there. Ladies, fellas, y'all join in. It's not gonna be it's I like the man cave because the things that we talk about on the man cave, it's not gonna translate well to the back porch. So that's why we got to have the man cave to go back there and handle that grown folk discussion. Let me see. Facebook. If you on Facebook, please hit us up at the Back Porch Sports Podcast War Room. We'll let you in there, even if you whatever team if you're a Cowboy fan, we'll gladly welcome you because we 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 love Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
MIA right now.
Yeah, boy, it's been real quiet this all.
Quiet, boy, I tell you.
But you got anything you want to add, bro?
Nah, man, I ain't got nothing to add.
So we're gonna go ahead and clock on out of here. This has been the Bad Boy Sports Podcast with your man Fonz.
And Quan.
And we are out.